Yeah.
it is, how do you stop the mental chatter? Right?
Yeah.
I've got this mental chatter shit going on that I can't stop for some reason. And no matter how much I meditate, no matter how much better sleep I get, no matter how much I exercise, which, believe it or not, I do try to exercise.
I'm with you, bro. I got it.
My wife just says you're big boned, right?
Well, tell her I'm in shape. Round is a shape.
That's right.
That's what I started telling my wife.
Round is a shape. And I got to a point the other day where, we were talking, I mentioned that in my question the other day about ego, right? How do you ego and how do you let that stop that? I thought about hitting a guy the other day. I said I wasn't going to hit him, I was going to hit his ego, right? But,
yeah.
Right, I would have to call a lawyer at that point. But it's the mental chatter stuff. How have you found for yourself to stop the mental chatter?
The first to apologize is the bravest. The first to forgive is the strongest. The first to forget is the happiest. So conscious chatter requires that type of activity, right? We want to be the courageous, bravest, and happiest, and we don't forgive other people for them.
Right.
We do it for ourselves. So if it's at a conscious level, understanding, that forgiveness is a key tool to use. If it's subconscious, right, the best thing is to readjust first, then to forgive, to bring it to a conscious level. So the subconscious is created by neural pathways, which are fueled by 40,000 of the same thoughts that exist in your subconscious mind. And so most likely, if it's consistent chatter, it's in the subconscious, is where it lies. So instead of trying to go right to forgiveness, that's where we stop, breathe, and get to center first, and then forgive. Because we're creating more resistance when we're trying to utilize a different frequency of conscious or logic to emotion, which exists in the neural pathways. Emotion, energy, emotion exists in the subconscious. So you actually can create more resistance, more chatter. So for example, if you're worried, which everybody worries, saying let it go, let it go, let it go to conscious level does not work. Or if you're angry, saying calm down, that doesn't work. You actually have to physically get yourself into conscious to relate the conscious logic to yourself. So my suggestion would be, because it seems like it is subconscious, is to stop, breathe through your nose out, do nothing. Don't try to hit his ego, don't try to logic it, don't try to resist it, over it, under it, through it, lie it, manipulate it, cheat it, deny it. Those are all logical things to do, but if it exists in the subconscious, you actually want to put yourself into conscious ease and then deal with it. And you'll find it'll dissipate and dissolve in a quicker manner. I also would look for clues and patterns of chatter. So sometimes we can put ourselves into a conscious realm by identifying clues on the patterns of the chatter. So they're all fear-based. And so whether it's anger because my dad used to hit me, or it's, worthiness issues because kids made fun of me, or I deal with them all. But I find that if I, knowing the conscious level, I can deal with it consciously, but the subconscious level, I have to put myself into the conscious ease and then facilitate some sort of trajectory. But I also have found that if I can identify clues and patterns of fear, and then I can see patterns on how I react to that, then I can heal that as well through forgiveness as well.
Maybe for yourself or for other people?
For me always, right? Like, remember, I have no control. I have such a difficult time teaching people to have mindset, heart set, and hand set control for themselves. Like, think about how difficult it would be to control somebody else. And here's the problem too, is you will never know what someone else is thinking. And it happens to me. I made fun of my wife today because she was worried that she hurt someone's feelings and the person wasn't calling her back. And she was convinced in her mind that the person wasn't calling her back because she hurt that person's feelings. And she thought she did it unintentionally as well. But she said, I knew when I said it, I think I hurt her feelings. And I'm like, oh, you knew what she thought. Interesting, because we could make a fortune if you knew what other people thought. And meanwhile, it was less than an hour later, an Olympian who's a really close friend of mine had promised to be on my TV show, but wasn't getting back to me with the time. And I started going, oh my God, what if I did something to offend him, I asked too many times, or like, right? I did the exact same thing she did. Meanwhile, my wife didn't offend the person, her phone died, and meanwhile, my friend had a death in the family and went off the grid. And in my mind, I was trying to control what other people think. The same as forgiving other people. I forgive myself, and I can give what I have, so I can give forgiveness to everyone. I can give what I have. And so I'm grateful myself, I can give gratitude to you. I'm forgiving of myself, I can give forgiveness to you. So I forgive myself when I cut someone off, so when someone cuts me off, I can forgive them.
Oh, wait, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's fine. It's your own.
I'm teasing.
Yeah. What did I learn today? It's your, we are, if you believe in an infinite world like I do, a world of abundance, more than enough, then every belief that you have is limiting. And so what we want to do is get rid of the beliefs that aren't serving us. So like if I have a limiting belief that I can't skydive, that may serve me at 55, but it didn't serve me at 25. So I think it's important to know that as an aspect of believing in an infinite world of more than enough, all our beliefs are limiting, but instead of just trying to expand don't be afraid of skydiving. It's okay that you can have a limiting belief that I can't skydive anymore because it doesn't serve me. It's more about, okay, what limiting beliefs aren't serving me? Like I can't make $1 billion, that's not serving you. Or I can't lose weight, that doesn't serve me, right? I am fit. That's the best thing to say to myself. What am I doing to interfere with it? Oh, I was starving yesterday because I didn't eat periodically, so at 9 p.m., the only thing that was open was Wendy's. That wasn't serving me, right? That's interfering with what I am. And so all these things interact together, and I really love that, it's okay, we have limiting beliefs, they all are, because I'm abundant. It's the same reason that, hey, I gotta learn to prioritize because I'm abundant. I have too many options, opportunities, and touches of favor. If you only had one opportunity in your life, you wouldn't have to prioritize. So if you're scarce, you actually don't have to prioritize. You're just limiting your statistical success because the more options you have, the more chance of success that you have. The better you prioritize the options, the better chance of success that you have. Right? The more interviews that you have, the more people that you meet. That's why you guys are showing up here. More options, opportunities, and touches of favor. That's why I'm here.
Right. Yeah. No, thank you.
Great.
Would you elaborate on the 5 to Thrive?
Funny you asked. I wish you could have come in. That's what I spoke on here, and I haven't done it in so long.
Oh, you were speaking here.
Yeah. So, 5 to Thrive. Number one, thriving is building a community of people pertaining to a service, solution, brand idea, something of yours, a vision, let's call it, a vision of yours. So thriving is building a community of people that are helping you with your vision, know people that can help you with your vision, and you can help with their vision and know people that help with their vision as well. It's a community of people, thriving, it's a community of people pertaining to your vision that will buy from you, they'll buy your vision and sell your vision to other people. And so the idea, first of all, and this is one of the first times I've been able to articulate to people, because I've started the 5 to Thrive as a sales tool, and now it's expanded into a life perspective. So everyone has a vision of where they want to be or better. Can we build a community of people that are going to buy my vision and sell my vision to other people for life? You're golden. So that's step 5. So the 4 others are: 1, we got to know our vision and stimulate interest in our vision. And I believe the key component is to stimulate interest of open minds of our vision. So qualification of open minds, number 1, is super important. We got too much access to too many people, so why waste your time with closed minds? So first qualify and stimulate interest. Who's easiest to stimulate interest to be in this community? People with an open mind. Then, second component is to stimulate interest. The real confirmation of stimulating interest is getting somebody to answer back. Whether it's a DM, answer you back in a conversation, respond. So why not spend time practicing getting people to respond? So if I try to stimulate 100 open minds, which is easy to do, in person, on the phone, via email or media, 100 open minds a day. If I try to stimulate that, The real quantitative value of it is how many people I can get to respond to my stimuli. And so practice that, because let's say on average you're a person that can get 2 people out of 100 to respond. If I could teach you to get 3, without getting better at any other parts, you're gonna have 33% better results. Or if I can double the amount of people who respond, you'll have twice as much without getting better at what you're doing. But because you're getting more people to respond, you're gonna get better at what you're doing, so now you get the exponentiality and the acceleration. So the response is what we practice in step 1. 2, once they respond, now we have to transition the interest of our vision. And the way that we do that is really simple. We find out what they like and don't like about our vision, because that's going to set up step 3. So we ask them, hey, what do you know about solar? What do you know about boat racing? What do you know about corporate law? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Would it help you if? Now I've transitioned you. Or do you know anyone that can help me? Now I've transitioned you. Then the third step is share the vision. Well, because I know what you like and what you don't like, it's very easy to share a vision, because to qualify to share a vision, it's your comfort level and capability of articulating value of your vision to exceed what you're asking for. It's the comfort level and confidence and your capability of articulating the value to exceed what you're asking for. There's only 2 ways to derive value. Give people more of what they like, take away some of or all of what they don't like. The better and more capable and comfortable you are of giving people more of what you like and articulating it or taking it away, you'll be able to share a vision. When you share a vision, you're 20% of the way there, not 80%. Most people think they're 80% of the way there. That's why they keep lying to themselves and chasing things without asking uncomfortable questions or qualifying or vetting, just trusting. Trusting is vetting. Trusting is asking uncomfortable questions. When you feel comfortable asking somebody a hard question, you actually trust them. And they're proving it to you. You know, you're gonna be here at 5 o'clock? Yeah, because I'm gonna miss my plane. I trust you. That's why I'm asking you. Not, I don't trust you. And there he is, ready to take me at 5 o'clock to the airport. My man.
Are we doing?
All right, so then when we get an agreement, because I was comfortable articulating value of giving you more of what you like or taking away what you don't like, now I'm 20% of the way there. Now I create a go, no-go plan to manage and develop the expectations in order to get that community settled. And so understanding that people say things because they're afraid to tell you the truth. Therefore, we're only 20% of the way there when they articulate to you that you've articulated quantitative value to see what you're asking for. So if I say to you, hey, do you want to come to the football game on Sunday with me? And you say yes, that doesn't mean you're showing up. It means there's a 20% chance you're going to show up. Or if I tell you I want to move forward with the deal, that means there's a 20% chance, not an 80% chance, that I'm going to do the deal. Because why? Circumstances change, even with the best intention, and people are afraid of saying no. Those are the 2 reasons why you are only 20% of the way there when you share your vision, are able or capable of articulating more value than you're asking for. You got to be honest with yourself and say, hey, some people are afraid to tell me the truth, and 2, circumstances change. People have open minds at different times, and people can go off the grid for a reason. That is not what we think. So understanding the percentages in the 5 to Thrive, the management development of the vision for me is controlled by the go, no, go plan and the 3 no rule that's incorporated to evaluate the go, no, go plan. So most people not only are afraid to say no, they're afraid to get a no. So we play this funny, funky dance that you really don't mean yes, and I'm too afraid to get you to admit that you don't mean yes. So go, no, go plan helps qualify that you're afraid of saying no, and 2, it also allows for circumstantial delays. And so notating those 2 things, I put together, and it could just be a simple email, hey, you told me to call you on Thursday. After Thursday, we're going to put the agreement on Monday. After Monday, you need 2 weeks of due diligence. And if we say go, you're going to sign that. After that, you said you need 90 days to pay. Now you're 100% done. As a lawyer, it's called consideration. But people don't go that far. So what I do is I put together a go-no plan. That's your basic one, right? We're going to talk, agreement, sign agreement, and pay. Each of those steps, you agree, still under the context that hey, you're too afraid to say no and circumstances change. You're too afraid to say no, and I'm too afraid to ask people for a no or find out you're going to say no. So the go, no go plan allows that to be the construct. Then I use the 3 no rule to say, okay, you didn't answer the phone on Thursday, that's 1 no. I call back on Friday, you tell me I'm busy or I'm not sure, that's 2 no's. I call then on Monday, I missed the call. To me, that's a universal 3rd no, but let's just say each time there's an excuse. On the 3rd excuse, I now say, hey, this obviously isn't the right time. When it is, call me. And never call back myself. Notating that the people that aren't afraid to say no, that really want to go forward, like my friend who called me because his relative died and was just off the grid, I've just accelerated them moving forward on the go, no go plan. And the other people were just too afraid to say no. And I've saved myself a ton of credibility, emotion, value, relationship, all the things that happen when both parties are too afraid, one to say no and the other to find no. I'll repeat that. In most relationships, when we're sharing a vision, most people are afraid to say no or get a no. The go, no go plan and 3 no rule allow you to utilize your time and statistical success in the most effective way, which when you do then get to consideration, whatever that may be, then you're building that community that thrives.
You could always just set up the question and say, would you mind if you had 15 minutes to allow them to say no?
Right.
Which is actually a yes.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
If they wanna say-
Perfect. Come on in, guys, please. Join me.
My question is the same
Yeah.
as previous questions.
Good.
Contacts for in-house corporate. I connected with Bill here
Good.
today. Also with Dan, the Chop Saver man.
Yeah.
Although he's looking for more funding right now, so hopefully I have him.
Okay.
But that's what I don't know if I'm on step 3 or 4.
Yeah. So asking, right? So
Yeah.
I'm in your community of people
Yep.
that want to help each other, know people that can help each other. And in that open-mindedness, I was speaking earlier, like sometimes people have open minds like me. It's a matter of prioritization, right? Because I have so many people in the opportunity. So it's you showing up Monday here in person just reminds me and allows me to tell everyone, hey, if you know anyone looking for a general counsel, talk to Mark. Anybody out there know anyone that knows anyone, talk to Mark. But it also reminds me, as I'm at the airports and on phone calls, et cetera, getting articles about general counsels, I'm now sending them because there may be something in you that you say, Dave, do you know this person?
Right.
And so in person, on the phone, via email, media, we want to ask for help. And this is in person, you do it on the phone, we do it on our meetings. That's how it gets done. Plus, the mathematical equation of luck, I didn't get to say in there, is what you pay attention to. We were talking about paying attention to more than enough, because then you get more than enough, or just enough or not enough, but what you pay attention to, and then give your intention to. An intention I define as 5 different levels of intention. I do everything in the trajectory of what I think I want. I say everything in the trajectory of what I think I want. I think everything in that trajectory. I believe it, and I feel it. And if you pay attention to what you want or better, you give it your full intention every day. Hey, this is what I'm going to think today, say today, believe today, feel today. In that trajectory, it will equal the coincidences or better in your life. The universe will coincide, because remember, it's a universe of more than enough, and you want the universe to coincide in alignment with the trajectory of what you want, or better. And so the only way that that happens is by paying attention and giving intention, which requires the enjoyment of what? The consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of that potential, that trajectory or better. And it's very pragmatic in its nature because we only have 5 activities that actually make things happen. We can do it, we can say it, we can think it, we can believe it, and we can feel it. Some people will just say it, never do anything. You only got 1/5 of the intention. Some people will believe it beyond doubt, but won't say anything or think anything or feel anything. Some people will just be inspired, and you get the percentages. It's 20% each, none more important than the other. And every once in a while, because of the statistics that are involved in intention, that if you put 20% of the effort, 20% chance that it could still happen if you pay attention to it every day and give the intention of saying it every day And so that's what confuses people about like meditation or prayer is like, I had cancer and every day I prayed to God, please save me, heal my cancer, please save me. I didn't believe it, I didn't feel it, but I said it every day. And 20% of the people that do that, on that, you know my statistic that I like, right? 99% of statistics are made up. But some percentage of people, that will heal you. But if you want to maximize the percentage, then do everything to heal your cancer, say everything to heal your cancer, think everything, believe it and feel it. I promise you that you'll have an exponentially greater chance of curing your cancer. That doesn't mean one's more powerful than the other. Some people can just go do chemo and they don't believe in the chemo, they just do it and they get cured. Some people do no chemo and they heal themselves and God, whoa, whoa. I've seen it. But I know that attention plus intention equals the coincidences in your life. Your life will coincide in the trajectory of where you want to be or better. And that's a good life. Questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I have something I want to ask you.
Sure.
So I'm a teacher. I started a homeschool program, and I know you have like a sports agency. That's where you kind of started.
Yep.
So I was just going to see if I could DM you and get some connection between me and whoever you have that can help me. I'm looking for families that want to pull their kids out of school, homeschool their kids.
Yeah.
So,
Where are you located here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, of course.
Florida.
So do you have a landing page, a website? Do you have information?
It's me. I
Word of
started in
mouth?
August. Yeah, I'm really like personable.
So you're teaching virtually for a homeschool program?
Yeah.
So it could be anywhere in the country?
Yeah, it could be anywhere in Florida.
Oh, in Florida. Oh, because it's state, right? Yeah.
Right.
Credited in Florida. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Sweet. Thank you.
That's why you're here.
Well, I've followed you for a long time. You talk a lot about like when you're ready for a question, like know what you need to ask.
I love
That's
it.
what I need. I appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I have more questions.
Yeah, I like
Give us a
questions.
chance.
Everybody wants to listen.
I came to
Yeah, I
listen.
came to listen.
Yeah.
Elaborate more.
Listen, observe, value, and engage.
Okay, can you elaborate more about being believable? Okay?
Credible.
Credible, believable. As you know, I hold 4 world records.
Yeah.
And I'm going after something in that area, and almost nobody believes what I'm about to do. But every single world record I had, almost no one believed before.
I was with Tom Brady and Chicharito yesterday, and nobody believed. I said, imagine the size of belief that Tom Brady had to have when he was drafted so low to go up to Mr. Kraft and tell him, this is the greatest decision you've ever made.
Whoa. I like that.
You know,
Been there.
there's only one person that needs to do, say, think, believe, and feel. Only one person that needs to do, say, think, believe, and feel. It's you. Because some people are going to believe way too much, and some people are going to believe way too little. And once again, we cannot control what other people think, feel, believe, or do, or say. It's a problem with parenting. We think for somehow, because we're your parents, we have some control over what you think, say, do, believe, and feel. It's just never going to happen. So what I do is I focus in on what I am. Not what other people think I am for sure, not what I want other people to think I am for sure, not what's missing and not what I don't have. I simply, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to do because of it, say because of it, think because of it, believe because of it, and feel today. And I will consider the external circumstances, not what other people think, but I'll consider the weather, the interest rates, COVID, atrocities around the world, my financial position today. I will take into consideration, I'm a realist. I live in a pragmatic man-made construct of 24 hours, and I want to utilize my 24 hours to most effectuate my potential. But it's determined upon what I do today, the activities planned, not planned, my sleep, paid for and unpaid for, what I say today, what I think, what I believe, and what I feel. And if I start putting myself and giving away my power to somebody else by what I think they think or I want them to think, I'm already creating a statistical deficiency in my plan.
Even if that person's your wife.
Oh, especially if it's my wife, especially if it's my mom. Let me explain this. This is a great question. I didn't get to touch on that in there. I love this. So there's 2 types of people. People that don't know what they don't know, and people that don't know what they don't know. That's the only two types of people on earth. There's the ignorant people that don't know what they don't know, that are arrogant, and they're so afraid of the fact that they know what they don't know. They're so afraid of that fact, they shit on you. Just go on social media and get a following like mine and get called every single name in the book. And I just pray for their happiness, because if they were happy, they wouldn't shit on me. They wouldn't have time, they wouldn't want to do that. So that's the ignorant, arrogant people. Ignorant, humble people are easy. They admit they don't know, they're curious, they ask, they learn, observe, they value, and engage. Love, L-O-V-E. Learn, observe, value, and engage. Love people. But the most scary, ignorant, arrogant people are the people that love us the most. Because they don't know what they don't know, and they're so afraid that they can't help us, secure us, keep us safe and stable, that we're gonna get hurt. They love us so much. We call these people our spouses and our children and our parents. They love us so much that what they do is they give us their advice, knowing that they don't know what they don't know, to keep us safe. Which usually means they're giving us advice based off of fear and doubt. And if you want to live your life in a journey of fear and doubt, then listen to people that love you the most when they don't agree with what you think, say, do, believe, and feel. For the people that love us the most, the ignorant, arrogant people that love us, the haters, pray for their happiness. The people who love us the most and try to limit our potential, appreciate them. That means thank them, add value. You don't have to pray for their happiness. They're happy. They're so happy. They care more about you than they do for themselves. Thank them for that. But let that advice, like a handful of sand, if it's not aligned with what you think, say, do, believe, just say, thank you, Mom, so much. I appreciate the fact you want me to be a lawyer. I've heard you say since I was a kid, doctor, lawyer, or failure. I know how much lawyers make and how much money you want me to make and how secure that'll make me. I so much love you for that. I appreciate that. I'll take it under consideration. And then that kernel of advice based off of fear and doubt. I tell my mom all the time, not only do I tell her I'm happy, healthy, love, and appreciate her, I also tell her, I'm so glad I'm not a real lawyer. Anymore. I'm glad I went to law school. I appreciate that advice. I appreciate the skills, knowledge, and desire that it built into me. But I appreciate that I'm an entrepreneur.
Can you elaborate just for a minute? You have the three and done.
3-no rule, yeah.
All right. Now, I listened to a sales presentation recently, and he gave out a statistic, I don't know, 99% maybe garbage or not, but the statistic was that 80% of all buyers are people who have said no at least 5 times already.
At least.
Okay?
At least. But after 3 times, that other buyer that's going to say yes, you just accelerated it so you don't have to get 5 no's. When you have faith that you've articulated the quantitative value in a comfortable manner and they have an open mind and it's circumstantial that they haven't got back to you, that by leaving a message that, hey, this obviously isn't the right time, when it is, call me back, that other 2-no person won't have to say no. You're just allowing them to say yes when they would. The only reason you had those extra no's is you were trying to force timing, and timing's a man-made construct and you can't force it. So 3's enough to qualify someone that, hey, I articulated my value, we have a go, no-go plan, and I'm confident that the same people that said yes after 5 no's would accelerate the sales cycle and call me back and say yes after 3 no's. But yes, most people, 80% or more, after they've said no at least 5 times. And that's because people aren't trained in the right perspective to articulate value, so it takes them the exploration in order to say no, and then more information sifts out, or they don't have a go, no-go plan, or they're inefficient with their time. It has nothing to do with you got to make them say no 5 times. That's not why it is. Question?
Today's world is a lot of negativity.
Negative?
Negativity.
Yeah.
I've learned that, we must protect our peace. And I think that I want to ask, what are some steps that you would say to be able to kind of maintain this peace in a world in an environment where there's noise? And also, why is it important to write ourselves a forgiveness letter as well versus always taking time to forgive others?
Yeah.
Before you answer that question, would you repeat his question? Because we
Yeah.
can hear it.
Yeah. That happens. No, it's fine. There, a lot of negativity in the world, always. Human nature never changes. Why do we have to forgive others or forgive ourselves?
Yes.
And how do we protect ourselves? It'd be at peace or ease instead of dis-ease. So for me, this is a really important thing because it's not just people. It's not just people. It's the frequency and an understanding of ease versus dis-ease. Ease versus dis-ease. And so if we have a baseline, and this is why I like meditation, beyond raising my awareness and frequency, it's a baseline of my higher self. I'm at ease. So first, if we have a baseline at ease, we then can identify easier what puts us at dis-ease, what interferes with the omniscient, all-powerful that we're walking with. For me, it's God. What's interfering with me and my potential? What's interfering with me and my ease, my happiness, joy, passion, purpose, profitability? What is it that's interfering with it? It's so much easier to know what's interfering with my ease or peace or higher self when I know what's creating dis-ease. People, activities, ideas, podcasts, TV shows. One of the things that I do, besides having a sleep coach, I joke around that I dreamed about being in the Hall of Fame for football. I represented more Hall of Famers still today than any other person on earth. More Hall of Famers have been represented by Lee Steinberg Sports Entertainment than any other agency today. And what I want to be in the Hall of Fame for is sleep. I want to be the best at something that takes up a third of your life. So I'm a sleep coach, 17 years. I practice sleep. But why sleep's so important to me is it allows me to have two baselines that keep me at ease. One, I have an unwinding routine so that when I sleep, I'm in recovery and access mode. Meaning that from the time I go to bed to the time I wake up, I plateau and grow when I wake up. Most people, this drives me crazy, they go to bed at night and wake up more tired than when they went to sleep. That's like if I took all of you guys to dinner for 8 hours, and at the end of the dinner, we're leaving, and every one of you said, man, I'm starving. I'm like, we just ate for 8 hours. How could you be hungry? You know how many people wake up, I'm so tired. I'm like, then what the fuck are you sleeping for? Excuse my language. Like, what are you sleeping for? So I put myself into a baseline, an unwinding routine to put myself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically into an unwinding space by identifying anything that puts me at dis-ease so I can put myself in a better ease to go to bed, and then I wake up at ease as well. Now I have a baseline for the rest of the day to say, ooh, I met this toxic situation, this toxic content, this toxic person, and they're creating dis-ease. I'm not gonna resist the dis-ease, I'm gonna stop, breathe, drop back down to center to my ease, and roll in the trajectory that I want to go, what I want, not what that person thinks or what I want them to think of me or the ideas that they have or the content that I'm doing. And this is an aggregate effect with exponentiality of outcomes in a trajectory of where you want to be. And so negativity has always been here. So when we say things like, oh, so much uncertainty today. Yes, every day. So much negativity today. Yes, every day. Study history. Human nature never changes. You have control of three things. I talked about it in there. You have control of your mindset, your heart set, and your hand set. What you do, say, think, feel, and believe. Not what anybody else does, says, think, believe, or feel. It's your responsibility to stay at ease and not allow them to put you at dis-ease. So I'm trying to plateau and grow and create a baseline of ease by identifying dis-ease, fear, notating that whenever there's fear, the natural reaction to fear of human nature is to evoke ego, edging goodness out of my life, edging God out of my life, edging gold out of my life. So the better I get at identifying what I'm afraid of and knowing the clues, patterns of what I react to, a need to be offended, a need to be right, a need to be angry, a need to be resentful. There's all these needs. I start seeing the patterns all of a sudden, like, whoa, next time I'm afraid, I'm gonna stop, and I'm a short amount of the time that I need to be angry, or need to be, because this is creating dis-ease in my life. That's a good practice. All right, next question. Thank you. Wait, hold on. Anyone else? Before Ralph, yeah.
I have, you have a number of kids that you're very proud of. I have a almost 3 and almost 5-year-old, 2 daughters. What's the best advice you can give a young father?
Yeah, first of all, love your kids. That's, just don't forget. Like, whatever they do, whatever they say, whatever they feel, you have no control of what they do, say, feel, think, or believe. But you do have control of letting them know you love them. I believe in articulating every day to my kids, I love you, I'm proud of you, and I always have your back. If every kid on earth knew they were loved, knew that you were proud of them, or had someone that was proud of them, and that had their back no matter what, man, our bench is deep. We would be able to bring the best out of these kids with those 3 simple things. And then for me to evaluate when they're looking for validation from the person who's most important to them, give them the validation by saying, did you do your best? That's the outcome I'm looking for. I don't care what grade you get. I don't care if you're the starter. I don't care how many touchdowns you score. Did you do your best? My son scored 4 touchdowns in 1 game. And he's like, can you believe that? I was like, yeah, I can believe it, but did you do your best? What could you have done better? Dad, aren't you proud? Oh, I love you, I'm proud of you, and I got your back, but you know, could you have done better? Could you have tried harder? What did you learn? And did you have fun? I don't care what it is. And he'll tell you, my son, Dad, it's Spanish. There's nothing fun in Spanish. And I say to him, imagine if you create a capability someday to find how Spanish could be fun. Because when you're able to find the light, the love, and the lessons in Spanish, that's when you live this life that I live. That's why my video starts today, right? My wife says, right, oh, you're just lucky because you love what you do. Now, first of all, if you love what you do, it will tell you all its secrets. If you do it consistently enough, it'll tell you more. If you do it long enough, it'll tell you even more. But if you can learn to love what you do, right, taking out the trash. I hated taking out the trash. 6 kids, for some reason, that was my anointing. Dave, take out the trash. Get into college, my fraternity, smallest football player, guess who got to take the trash out? Have 3 daughters, guess who gets to take the trash out? I hated it. The shit would spill on me. If there was glass in it, it would cut me. I'd get mad and throw it, then it'd spill and I'd have to pick it. And it always when I was in a hurry. And I said to myself, whoa, whoa, you hypocrite, which is my nickname, which means I have a lot to learn and I'm humble. Wait a second, you hypocrite. You're telling everybody you can learn to love what you do. Obviously, 1, taking out the trash has significant meaning to my wife. I've learned 2 things in my marriage. 1, picking up flowers for no reason means something to her. And 2, taking out the trash. Same exact meaning. It's like, oh my God, he loves me. Shit, I should have got a different job. So I started looking at it and I said, okay, what is it I want out of this trash? 1, it makes my wife love me more and it illustrates to her how I truly feel. And then 2, how long does it take? 3 minutes. Okay, every day, I now have at least 3 minutes to think about what I want. The most powerful thing I can do in a day, what I want, in the trajectory of where I want to be. So all of a sudden, I start taking the trash out, and my energy shifts. Here's the interesting thing about energy. It's like, you ever do something dangerous in front of your kids, and they're like, I want to do that? It's because of the energy. It's not because it's cool. It's because they see you super excited and like, I want to do that. Well, my energy changed so much with my trash that one of my daughters actually says, oh, I'll take that out for you. Trash was freaking kryptonite to my girls. All of a sudden, my energy changed. They could see that somehow I was enjoying this. I learned to love what I hated the most. And so by asking your kids, did you have fun? Poses the question, are you capable of learning to love Spanish or homework? It's easy to love the games. Can you learn to love the practice? Anybody can love a game. Anyone, trust me, anyone could love what Chad and I do in there. That's why we were in tears up there, because I know he has the same perspective of me. I was on the other side of the wall too, and that's beautiful, but we love when we're behind the wall. We love what we were doing there. That's what got us to the other side of the wall. Last question. You?
I got a good one. In case anybody.
All right. I'll now get Ralph. I'll do 2.
It's been one heck of a month this week, I'd like to say.
Yeah.
But with that said, life is all about lessons, right? You talked about that today to everybody. Whether it's this, I like to focus on this week. What's your most valuable lesson?
My most valuable lesson of the week, I wrote it down. So, like I told you, I capture that which resonates with me. I have my system. I usually text myself, and then I take the text, I email them. I put all my lessons into a folder that says lessons. On Sunday, I attach notations of stories to lessons so that I can build a better way to articulate the lessons that I've learned that hopefully will resonate with you. So just give me 1 second and I'll tell you what it is, which is why I capture lessons, because I would have forgotten it. Look to what is beyond your ability to know and understand. So the lesson I learned was to look beyond my ability to know and understand. So faith is intertwined into it, and so many times, if we don't understand it or know it, we assume that it's an outcome that's not what we wanted. So losing everything, or not getting the job, or not, right? Whatever it is, it's, really learn that. And when I was talking to Tom Brady or to Chicharito or Tom Bilyeu, people that are in a situation in certain circumstances that I want to be in, a spirit of excellence. So mentorship is not, there's not one mentor for David Meltzer. I told before you guys were here, I have a sleep coach for 17 years. I want to be in the Hall of Fame of sleep, because you spend a third of your life sleeping. If I can be the best sleeper, imagine where I'm going to end up. Right? So I used to want to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, now the Pro Sleeper Hall of Fame. But it's that idea of, okay, what is it about Chicharito that he can mentor me on? Because he has a spirit of excellence. He has a delta, and he can help me with that delta. And so I asked him about his ability to see past what he doesn't understand. So he blew out his knee. Before Messi he played for United, and before Messi got to the MLS, he was Messi basically, and he blew out his knee. And when I was with him, I could see he had faith beyond what he could understand. He somehow, closer to the time of the occasion, could find the light, the love, and the lesson. It took me years to figure out the protection and promotion of losing everything, but he seemed to, in a matter of hours, find or had the ability, without knowing or understanding, that blowing out his knee was somehow going to protect and promote him. And he said, now that it's unraveled itself, that he never would have met me as a coach and gotten to where he's at outside of soccer already, which is super cool. All right, real quick, Ralph.
Can you elaborate on how to get to hard to get to people?
Yeah. This I learned as a sports agent. It's called the spheres of influence. And because of social media and social silos, that the spheres of influence are far greater than I was when a sports agent. So the example was, I became a great sports agent because I only talked to the trainers. The reason I talked to the trainers is nobody else was talking to the trainers. 2, trainers never lost their jobs. They always stayed with the same team. And 3, that when you did important things or nice things for trainers, they actually appreciated it, and it was an authentic relationship. And players talk to the trainers more than they talk to the coaches, the parents, and they trust the trainers. Well, we're blessed. We have this whole social community that are a bunch of trainers. So the hard to get to people have trainers. Go to the trainers. Don't go to the family member. Don't go to the people that constantly, it's like I just got from one of my coaching clients, hey, do you think you can get Ed Milet on my podcast? I'm like, no, because you're not learning. Right? Go to Ed Milet's trainer. And I don't necessarily mean his fitness trainer, like someone who is in a sphere of influence that you can go and provide value to, that they can tell Ed, Dave Meltzer provided so much value. Why did I introduce Ryan immediately to Chad? Because Chad just provided, I'm Ryan Serhant's trainer. I'm one of his trainers. And so he provided value to me and then asked, hey, do you think I could meet this person? And what did I do? I said, hey, I'm your trainer, man. You gotta meet him. And because I'm Ryan's trainer, he's listening to me. But if I was his sports agent and he said, come to Ohio State, and I went right to Ohio State and said, you need to do this without this, we wouldn't have got it done. Spheres of influence, look for the person that has a sphere of influence, provide value to the sphere of influence so that they can provide value to you. Remember, the objective of the value of giving more value or taking away what you don't like is understanding in the context of getting to two questions in some way. Would it help you if? Or do you know anyone that could help me? I'm constantly trying to get a conversation going to figure out, would it help you if I did this? Would it help you if I did this? Or, hey, do you know anyone that could help me? I'm looking for a place to eat, whatever it may be.